All right, so my little last message for today. Um, I was listening to a woman who talked about how everybody loved to piss on black women, and that's true because it becomes a trend to constantly find things wrong with black women. I get that black woman is not perfect, and I get that you can find a whole lot of stuff that's easily to find that's wrong with black women. But the thing is, it's become a trend to tear down black women because nobody is going over and over and over again about these people who has come in to rape a lot of women that the current president of the United States have allowed in. Nobody is making videos over and over about them, and they're raping and killing women and children, and nobody is making videos over and over and over about them. So what it is that it becomes a trend to attack a certain group of women. And this, what I want to say is this: even though a lot of black women have their issues, they're still expected to. Sorry about that. That's my dog messing with these little toys. If you heard that squeaky noise, um, they're still expected to support everybody. You know what? I thought about this the other day, but I didn't say anything because it wasn't like I didn't have enough to say to upload a video. But when people constantly ask for black women's support in everything, like black women literally have to support anything, even if it's painting the house green. We need your energy, black woman, because that's all it's about. It's harnessing black women's energy to create a doggone matrix, to add to the matrix. They always need energy, and black women have probably the most of it. Every time they need black, every time they need to do something. Sorry, if you keep hearing that squeaking noise, that's my dog. I don't know why they're squeaking like that. At least they not barking though. It's two of them. I'm glad they ain't barking. But anyway, um, black women are just expected to be supportive of everything. And it gets to a point where it's just not really all women. When it comes to these kind of situations, it's not all women, and I don't want to lie like that. It's not about me having a problem with other women. It's just not all women when it comes to these kind of things. When it comes to constantly being, let me tell you something. If you're constantly in a soup, what you call it, a cesspool, which black women in the United States of America, for the most part, are in a cesspool. Not everybody, not every single person is that way, but for the most part, black women in the United States of America. You know what? If black women in the United States would just kind of scatter and like go to visit different places, like the collective of them, they wouldn't be the same people. They like literally would not be the same people. They would be different people. A lot of black women, not making excuses, but people are products of their environment. They're products of their environment, and that's that simple. And I want to say this to you. When you constantly crapping, when you have a world that's constantly having something negative to say about a group of people, and then they grew up in a household where they might have had family members who told them they weren't nothing. And then you have people anywhere just find something wrong with a black woman, so let's post it because something's wrong with this black woman. Let's post something because this black woman did something stupid. Let's post it. And then you have other so-called black women that want to go and correct her, but you weren't there in the hospital when she was born. You weren't there to probably tell her father or her uncle to stop molesting her if that happened. You weren't there when she was growing up. You weren't there when she probably was on the streets because her parents could have been junkies. You weren't there when that was happening, so you don't like come and tell her when she's grown up, when that type of situation shaped her reality to make her have the mind that she have. You can't come while she's an adult and tell her what she needs to change. You, the other black women that love to tell somebody how to behave, love to tell somebody how they're supposed to behave because maybe it makes you look bad. Why does it make you look? She's acting that way for a reason. She ain't acting that way for no reason. Now, I'm not defending nobody, but what I do know is they not acting like that for nothing. That's what I do know. Even when you have the most racist person that's a skinhead or whatever you call it, they're not acting that way for nothing. They get it from somewhere. You can't wait when they're adult. You can't tell them how to behave. You just can't tell them to change who they are when they have been deeply rooted in what you see right now is some deep roots. You cannot tell them to change like that. You can offer them some help if you really feel that compassionate that something is wrong. Offer them help. If they don't want to take it, they don't want to take it, but offer it to them if you really want to see a change. But change yourself first. Change yourself first, and then go help somebody else. Okay? But now I'm going to get to this because I don't want to stay too long. I'm not the kind of person that's going to believe that I can make videos about black women and take your energy back. Let me tell you something. A lot of black women have been my enemy. This is not me for me to be bashing anybody. It's just what it is. So I'm not really trying to ask for black women to be my friend right now. There's something that I always wanted, and it's something that I kind of came to the realization it might not happen. Now, I might have a friend that happens to be a black woman. That could be a good friend of mine. That could be. But as far as this collective in the United States of America, I'm not even holding on to that dream. I know. It's just not, it's not realistic. And it seems to be not realistic for a whole lot of other women that I see on the internet. It seems to be not be realistic for them too. Seem like for the most part, so-called black women as a collective don't really support each other. But I can see why. Because they are rooted in hating themselves, and so when they hate themselves, they're going to hate another person that looks like them. It's like it's almost like you almost can't blame them. But at the same time, you got to protect yourself. It's like you can't blame them, but then you got to protect yourself because at some point you have to want to change. Because there's a lot of stuff that I've been rooted in, and nobody else is supporting me. Nobody else is holding my hand telling me how great I am. Nobody's giving me money. I wish people just write a check and give me money that will, clear the bank. Like, that are actually clear. Or just give me cash. I would love that. I feel like I deserve it. Nobody owe you nothing. Well, yes, they do. A lot of people brown women, so-called black women don't understand how much this world uses their energy. Yeah, they do owe me to somebody just need to give me $100. Yeah, they do owe me. Yeah. Watch what happens when I pull all my energy back from this world. If you feel like nobody owing you nothing, you pull every last bit of your energy back from this world. And you know what? I know black women ain't gonna listen to that because they are what you call it, sadomasochists? Like they're masochists. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna blame them. They're like that for a reason because they have been rooted in hating themselves. So like I said, it's not a judgment. I know what that's like too. I had to work like hell to get off that doggone mentality because when you have a family that constantly tears you down, it's hard not to hate yourself when everybody else want to hate you too. Since you're a child, it's hard not to hate yourself. It's good to go to a psychologist, but I'm going to tell you it costs money. I could take some time off of work, but it costs money. If insurance can pay for it, fine. Paying $200, $300 for 30 minutes costs too doggone much. And I don't think some psychologists, you got to find the right one. Some of them ain't worth a darn. But there's a lot of spiritual stuff going on with a lot of black women. And here's the thing. I really would, at this point, want to ask the universe, because I'm tired of this world. Right? And even though I don't like calling myself a black woman, I know some other black women are okay with that. So, if that's what they want to be called, that's their wishes. That's not something I want to call myself because that's not who I am. Black sound like something that came around in the 60s in the United States of America. And I remember watching old videos. Dane Calloway played quite a few of them. You saw men from the 60s talking about if you say that word black, that used to be fighting words. Now all of a sudden it's accepted. Like it's something that came from the government to classify a certain group of people. And I don't want to hold on to that name. But you have some people that feel like that's what they should be called, and so that's I just respect that's what their wishes to be called that. I respect that. But I don't want to be called that. But I'll say this, and that's why the universe is probably treating them the way they treat them, because they keep accepting that classification, and the universe is going to keep on treating you this way. But I do want to say this though. I'm just going to really ask the mother and just ask the universe for black women as a collective, in the United States of America specifically, to pull back their energy, to take all their energy back from this whole entire world that has harvested off their energy, to pull it back. I don't even care if they're a part of some of these cults that they in. You know, a lot of these religions and these cults and these societies and sororities they in, I just really want them to just all of a sudden pull back out of all of them. Pull your energy back and see what happens. Now, they're not going to do it just by somebody suggesting that they do it. That's why I want a divine intervention to come in and just something comes and change their mind. Something come and cause a whole lot of so-called black women as a collective in the United States of America to suddenly want to pull their energy back from everything, pull their support back from everything, pull it back. Don't support nothing but those who support you, and that's it. Support yourself and those who support you. Other than that, pull your support back from everybody. And I know they're not going to do it because they're addicted to the pain. And like I said, when you have gone through certain things and grew up a certain way where you're just always being blamed for everything and hated for everything, it's hard not to be like having masochistic type of attitude, you know. But so you can't simply just tell them. You can't simply just tell them. It's something deeply rooted that they have to give their energy to everybody else, even though they're not getting any support back. It's something deeply rooted in them to the point where you cannot upload a video and just tell them they're not going to listen. Everybody's different. And so I'm going to pray to the mother and to the universe to cause black women to suddenly change their mind towards the world and pull all of their support back from anybody who's not supporting them. Pull every last bit of their support back. Pull it back. I don't care if it's a white person. I don't care if it's a black person. I don't care who it is. Pull their support back from those who do not support them. Now, so like those who do support them, whether it's another black person or whether it's an Asian or white person or Latina person, okay, yeah, you can support who's supporting you, because if they support you, then they're helping you. It's an even exchange. It's fair. It's give and take, right? You know, like you sowing to them, they sowing to you. So that's fine. But for the most part, black women are not supported, and you always want to find somebody who do something crazy and just tear down the whole group of people, because it's not hard to find a so-called black woman that does something weird. But when you see many so-called black women that just mind their business and don't cause any problems, you don't want to talk about that. So it's becoming a trend, and it's becoming a moneymaker to constantly pound on so-called black women. And even though I don't call myself black, that's not what other people see when they see me. And I don't want people, you know, like I just looked at a thumbnail on Cerebral, and I need to watch that video of, her name is Cerebral TV, Cerebral Talks. She's been around for a long time, but I think her name was Cerebral, but then she added something else. I don't know if it's Cerebral TV or Cerebral Talks. She added something else to it. But the title of the thumbnail was talking about how the workplace has a problem with black women being quiet. Oh, now they don't want you to be quiet, but then they say you talk too much and you're argumentative, but now you're quiet, they got a problem. See, I'm tired of people messing with, you know, I need to watch the video to see what it's about. I just saw that thumbnail. Like, okay, so now somebody's minding business. You're doing things to make her go off on you because you want to pull out that aggressive, angry black woman when she is minding her business. I'm so tired of the world. It's not funny. And you know what? Like I said, a lot of black women are not going to agree, not going to listen to what people say when you say, take everything back and stop supporting this world, period. Don't support Ukraine. Don't support Russia. Don't support Israel. These people over here that call themselves Jews, but are really the synagogue of Satan. Don't support them either. Okay, hate speech. Oh, we take your video down, hate speech. Whatever. Okay. But anyway, they're not going to listen because everybody's different, and you got to get to that point. And I don't want to wait for them to get to that point. I'm tired of people and they shenanigans. Just leave black women the heck alone. And the ones who need to go, they just need to go. Like, there are some so-called black women that are very, 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 very evil without a cause. Like, they're evil without cause. What I'm saying is it's not necessarily something they've been through as a child. It's just they evil. I've seen some, and I'm trying to be funny, I've seen some high priestesses like that. What about the Christians? How you know they're not high priestesses? How you know that some of these pastors aren't high priests? How you know they're not a part of some other practice and they not how you know they're not into nothing else? People think that because they see somebody in church that they just all holy. Those could be high priestesses up in there too. I'm not against all high priestesses, but what I can say is I do know a couple where they have definitely the skill if they wanted to, whatever they've been through in their life, because they don't help so many other people, and they are so wise that if they wanted to change, they know how to put the work into themselves to do it. And if they need the money to take the time off, they know how to get that doggone money. They know how to manifest it. Like they some powerful people in the arts, in the craft, very powerful in the craft. And you know what I've seen with a couple of them? They'd rather kill people, harness their energy, sacrifice them to get money or to take their crown so they can elevate to a certain level. If you have a person that got a certain amount of energy or a certain destiny and you kind of fuck up their life so you can get it. That's what I've seen a couple of high priestesses do. So my point is that there are some so-called black women that they just evil. It ain't nothing else to it. They evil as hell. They evil. And they need to disappear. Like they need to they need to be blotted out. They're evil as hell because they have the skills. If they want to change their life, and no matter what they've been through, I've seen they work. They are extremely powerful, and if they really want to change something about their life, whatever kind of trauma, they got the skills to do it. They'll rather take from somebody else who they know they're way more powerful than. That's what they'd rather do. And those women are dangerous. They evil, and I don't even mind them being burned at the stake. Like seriously, they evil as hell. Oh, there's some men that's high priests that's evil too. But I'm not even like trying to go to the left with this video because I'm talking about so-called black women and taking their energy back from the world. But I do want to recognize that some black women are just evil as hell for no reason. They just evil. They evil. It's no way around it. They evil as hell. Okay? And that's what I'm talking about. So I know it's other folks that are evil, but it's not really, I'm not telling everybody else to take the energy. I'm not telling black men to take the energy back. I'm not telling white women to take the energy back. I'm talking about black women taking their energy back from the world since the world wants to pounce on them all the time. But at the same time, I want to recognize that there are some that it ain't no cause for them to be evil. They evil as hell without a cause. They evil without a cause. And they would kill a child without a cause. Now, some of them, I'm not saying that some people who haven't hurt others is they're like I'm literally talking about people that I'm aware of. When I talk about these high priestesses, these are people who have saved other folks' lives, possibly saved other women from suicide. I know, like when I talk about these couple of high priestesses, I know who they are, and I've seen their work, and they're good at their work. They have helped other people. They have saved other people, and they're powerful in their art, in their craft. And what I have seen them do is to choose to want to blood sacrifice somebody else to get wherever they want to get. Okay? And those people right there, they just evil. I'm not trying to like pass judgment, but sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. And you can't make excuses for everybody when they do some really downright ugly stuff. Now you have some other folks that have hurt other people. I don't know who they are. I can't talk about them, but these, They chose to be who they are because they know how to be better people and they don't want to. They want it the easy way. They want it the easy way. Okay? And so, yeah, like I said, I'm just calling a spade a spade. Everybody ain't innocent like that. Some people are just like that without a cause. That's just who they are. Okay? But anyway, like I said, I want so-called black women to pull their energy back, take their energy back. And I know they're not going to agree to do it because they can't do it. Their nature is to constantly pour out their energy to everybody else and constantly be pounced on. That's their nature to do it. That's why I'm not even going to try to even think that they're going to listen. I'm not even going to think that they are going to listen. But I will say, since they are clearly not using a balanced mind in this, then something else needs to take control. And they're like, at this point, At this point, it's time for something else to take over. It's time for divine intervention. And literally, I just want to call for a lot of so-called black women in the United States of America, the collective, at least 90%, to pull their energy back from everybody who does not, everybody who does not support them. Okay? The ones who don't support them, they don't get support either. And that's it. I mean, I don't know if black women know it. I mean, I've seen it. Black women don't even know they have become Barbie dolls. Like, they don't know where their consciousness is. They don't even understand their consciousness has been transferred, like to a Chucky doll. They don't know. They live in their regular life, looking at their house, going around, going to work. They have no idea that they are Terminator, and they inside the Terminator, they inside Chucky. They have no idea, because that takes a different level of awareness. But this was on Jay-Z's video 444, when that guy with that little fade and this little, I guess it's this little gold spot, um, died in the middle of his fade or whatever, talking to this so-called black woman that looks like little Sophia. She was some kind of AI doll. That's not there for no reason. This is what's become a black woman. And who did it? Their counterparts had a lot to do with it. Allegedly. Okay? So take your energy and your power back, but I know they're not going to do it because a lot of them are not aware enough. And even if they do become aware, it's too hard. It's too hard to take their power and their energy back, to stop supporting this whole freaking world that don't give a darn about them. I really like so-called black women to cut everybody off and come together and build their own. And if anybody, white, Latino, whoever want to support them, that's fine, in their own businesses. But black women need to stay out of other folks' businesses and do their own. I wouldn't even mind hiring an Asian or whatever, but it's the black woman's business. Period. I'm really tired of people wanting to crap on black women, even though it's a whole lot of things you can say about black women. It's just no reason to constantly it's become a trend to constantly talk about how you don't like the black women, how you get white men and certain Latino men and certain Asian men online talking about how they don't date a black woman. Do you see Asian and white women online talking about how they don't date a black man? Do you see black men online talking about how they don't date away? I mean, you got some pro-black, so-called pro-black, these conscious folks who want to talk about interracial dating. But other than that, I'm talking about, do you see black men online talking about who they don't date? Or do you see white women and white Asian women and Latino women, we don't date black men? Do you see white women saying, we don't like Latino men? Like, you don't see anybody else doing that, but somebody always have to get online talking about how they don't date a black woman. But they're not talking about how they don't date anybody else. But do you date somebody from the Himalayas? Like, why don't you say you don't date that? Okay, like, why don't you just, like, you just want to hop on a black woman talking about, keep your mouth shut. If you don't want to date them, who cares? Why you waste your time, get online to make a video about how you just not interested in the black woman? Like, who's pushing you to do that? And why is that necessary? It's like it's become a trend to constantly beat on black women. And I'm at the point where I'm not even allowing black women to make the decision to move away from, like, take their energy back from, like, don't even work for nobody else. Get your own business. That type of stuff. Oh, I can't. Well, I kind of feel that way too, but it's time to, like, pull into yourself and learn how to do it. It's hard to do when you don't have a lot of support, though. That's why you got to pull your energy back. If I can't get no support, I'm going to pull my energy back. Everlasting, because you don't understand how much energy of yours is being used, because you're looking at a regular what look like a human body, which your mind is hallucinating. What you see in the mirror is coming from your mind. But the energy that black women put out is a whole lot of energy that helps to create this matrix. And they got the nerve to shit on you like that. You're at the bottom because they're using your energy. Like, if black women are at the bottom, it's because they are being harvested to keep this crap going. But then they constantly be crapped on because they don't want black women to raise up in consciousness. But I'm over. I can't even wait for them to make this decision anymore. It's time for divine intervention. I'm going to ask every day that divine intervention comes in to cause black women to just not want to support the world, period. Not just black men, not just white folks, whatever. Not to support the world, period. because she has to uplift everybody else, but nobody uplifts her. They step on her because she's at the bottom, but then wonder why she hates herself. That's some dumb crap to wonder why somebody would hate themselves. What else do you expect? She's at the bottom and she's constantly being pounced on, and you surprised that she hates herself. Duh. She always has to give her energy to everybody else, but you don't understand why she hates herself. Oh, the music didn't help at all either. The music didn't help. Oh, and the programming and all these doggone Black Power movements, the programming of Black women was crazy. But anyway, that is it, and I'll talk later.